Hey YouTube, welcome to another video from Skinny Medic. I'm a big fan of 9mm carbine pistols. I love it. This is a fun gun, but Mr. Mike, this is your gun, right?
It is. So we brought this one out today to let him play with it. This is a very fun gun, but also a gun that has practical purpose. So what this is the B&T SP9 SD. So that means a lot of things. It means it's made by Brugger and Thomet. So it's made over in Europe. There's not a lot of these in the country. They don't make a lot of them. And the ones that come in all sell out pretty much immediately because they're really cool. So some of the things that make this unique, if you will, so SPC9, that essentially is just the action in here. That's what B&T calls it. They have several different systems. They have the APC, SPC, etc. This one, what's different about it versus some of the others is that it actually uses a buffer system like an AR-15. So that's why you have this tube back here. Some of their other designs don't use that. But what it does is it makes the mass that has to reciprocate a little bit less. So the recoil is a little bit less because there's less moving, if that makes sense. Continuing up front, this is definitely the most definitive feature of the gun. This gun is integrally suppressed. So off the top of my head, I don't know the exact barrel length, but I will tell you the barrel itself comes to right about here. And in that barrel are actually a series of ports that bleed gas off, and most, not all, but most 9mm ammo will come out subsonic, meaning that it's going to be quieter than a typical suppressed gun with supersonic ammunition. Additionally, I suppose kind of opposed to that, if you will, is that the silencer here is actually a flow-through pistol silencer. Now, to the best of my knowledge, the only flow-through pistol silencers on the market are made by B&T. And the reason for that is it's very difficult to get flow-through silencers to work well because there's not as much pressure in gas like there would be with a rifle. So this one works. I've shot this gun a ton. It does work. It works fine. It's quiet. However, it's not as quiet as a traditional baffle can, if that makes sense. However, again, that's offset by the fact that the bullets are going to come out subsonic. So there's two different factors going on there. Additionally, this one takes Glock mags. They also make a version that takes proprietary B&T mags, but we do have the fun sticks here, so we should be good there. Additionally, controls are ambidextrous. It has a front charging handle up here, so you can run it with the charging handle. It's non-reciprocating, but it also has an AR-15 charging handle at the rear. You can pick whichever one you want, whichever manual of arms you want to use, and it is a BCM charging handle as well. I think the only other important thing on there is the optic. So we have an Aimpoint C2 on there, so that's actually a new optic as well. That's, as of when we're recording this, it's been out for about 2 weeks. But basically what that is it's the rifle version of the Acro P2, if you're familiar with that. So pretty similar, but that's a video for another day. You want to start shooting this thing?
Definitely, let's shoot it.
Let's do it. The bolt release on the gun is ambidextrous. It's right here above the magazine release. So you push down to send it home and push up to lock it.
Okay. Easy enough.
Yep.
Nice.
What are your thoughts?
That is quiet. And there's no recoil. I have like 0 recoil with that.
You got to remember, this is a blowback gun, so it's not like delayed recoil. It's not like an HK, nothing like that. So like I was mentioning, the way they get it to feel like that is by using the buffer system in the rear, so the bolt is smaller than it otherwise would have to be. Finish the mag out. And the bolt locks open. So right now, just to let you guys know at home, I have about 800 rounds through this, almost exclusively Minuteman munitions. And it's never had a single malfunction. We ran hollow points, everything through it. It's running great so far.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
So one thing that's cool that the camera probably will not capture is because the bullets are being slowed down. Again, we're at about maybe 15, 18 yards here. And I can actually, with this sunlight, I can see the bullets going down range because they're being slowed down so much. One thing I wanted to mention here that we didn't talk about earlier that's a little bit weird about this gun, if you actually Google it, you'll see some really strange pictures of it because it comes with these sights here at the rear. Comes with backup sights. They're B&T's own design. However, the funny thing about it is, the way this charging handle works, it sits so close to the rail, you actually can't mount the factory front sight where you would want it to be. You have to mount it back here on the receiver, because if not, the charging handle won't clear it. Now, there are people that just use your AR-15 charging handle at the rear to get around that, but I think it's kind of stupid. So I just
I like the front.
Correct, I do too. And so to get around that, I had to go with a really low profile Daniel the front sight on there. Like even a Magpul, it won't work on there. So that is one of the downsides if you want to run a front sight, which a lot of people probably don't. A lot of people just run optics, but if you want to have it as a backup, you're limited in your options because of that design.
And which Surefire light do you have on there? Sure,
this is a Scout M600. So it's a 2-cell Scout, not the newest one. I guess at this point it's a legacy Scout, but it's still a good light. It's 1,000 lumens, like I think it's 14,000 candela. It'll still get it done.
Yeah, I run a couple of Surefires on mine. I like them. They're good. They're good lights.
They're solid. They're reliable for sure.
So no gas back in my face.
No, none. And that's because of that flow-through design on the silencer. I was just telling him off camera, but I should mention it on camera. B&T does offer the option to have essentially this gun, but with a regular silencer, a baffled silencer. That will be a little bit quieter, for sure, but you're gonna get a gas in the face, right? So pros and cons to each. Another thing to consider about this particular silencer, the silencer actually comes back here. So it wraps around the barrel itself. And what that does, you probably notice it's getting a little hot, right?
Yes.
So if you're firing extended strings of rounds like we are on a 90-degree day, it will get warm on you. The traditional baffled style can setup of this gun would be a little cooler. Will you ever fire that many rounds in real life for it to matter?
Hopefully not.
Probably not. If you do, you'll make the news.
Yeah.
One other thing I wanted to talk about here is just this brace setup. So B&T offers this gun in a number of different configurations. Like I said, either Glock mag or non-Glock mag. They also offer it without the brace at all. They also offer it with just this skeletonized extending portion here. And that's actually how I bought it. So I bought it with just this piece right here, and then I added the tail hook brace to it. But if you want to run like a, say like a SB Tactical, SBA 3 or SBA 4, there are ways to do that. You just need to configure it differently as you purchase it.
Sweet. Have you done a full review yet?
I haven't yet, no,
okay.
But I will.
Cool. Thank you for stopping by the range.
You're very welcome.
Appreciate you letting me shoot. That was a blast. So thank you guys.
I have to stop him there. Before we end the video, we have to talk about price.
Yes.
B&T, they're expensive. I bought this gun with my own money. They did not send it, nothing like that. The non-integrally suppressed version of it is gonna be like mid-2000s. The integrally suppressed version is gonna be 3,000 to 3,500, somewhere in there, just depending on the configuration. So it's super cool, as he was saying off camera just now, but that comes at a price.
I probably should have warned, like if Candace is watching this video, she probably should have stopped watching the video.
She will.
Yes, just stop, babe. He's crazy. Like he doesn't know what he's talking about. It's not that expensive. It's a $500 gun.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add?
Not really. I think it's a good design. I was also mentioning off camera, for people who don't know, this is the SPC, like I mentioned. They also offer an APC. The bolt's a little bit different, but the APC is actually a gun that was recently adopted by the US military as a PDW. So a lot of people think guns like this are silly, but they do have a niche role, even in military operations. And the B&Ts, they have gone through extensive testing in both different configurations, and they won that Army trial by a lot. If you guys actually look at the data on it, the reliability of that gun was just, it's insane, in a good way. So they're definitely quality guns, they're just expensive. That's the downside.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It's one of the funnest carbine I've shot in a while, so.
For sure.
Cool. So thank you guys for watching. You never know when you'll be the first responder. Remember the right gear and the right training.